So, you built your religion on hadiths. Stories passed by word of mouth. Seriously.
Word of mouth? You mean like history before printing? Imagine every word whispered came with a signed delivery log. Name, date, location, memory rating, reputation score. Miss one? Rejected.
Signed by who? All just believers validating believers.
Thousands of them, publicly disagreeing, documenting mistakes, naming liars. That's not blind belief. That's scrutiny.
You expect me to trust oral transmission?
When it's recorded, tested, challenged, and survived 14 centuries. Yes, we call it isnad. Break one link, we break the hadith.
And you measure memory? How? Gut feeling?
By trial, scholars would flip names, alter chains, and test narrators on the spot. Miss one twist, you are out. This wasn't a fan club, it was more brutal than academia. Names were blacklisted, errors exposed. We didn't assume truth, we demanded it.
So a chain is just names?
A biography per name, where they lived, who they learned from, who they taught, whether they ever lied, even their memory strength. Documented.
Still, rulers existed. Don't tell me none influenced what got preserved.
Then, why do we still have narrations condemning tyrants? What regime preserves its own criticism?
So, no hadiths got hidden or erased?
We have entire books of forged hadiths, labeled, preserved. We exposed fakes to protect the truth. There was no secret club. They debated, fought, wrote books critiquing each other line by line. Consensus wasn't assumed, it was earned.
So Bukhari's your golden boy?
He's the strictest, not the only. He memorized 600,000 reports, accepted under 1%. Every narrator, every word, checked.
There were 600,000 hadiths?
Not unique ones. Same events, different chains. Some weak, some fake. We preserved even the noise, not just the gold. Sometimes one or two words ruined everything. He said instead of I heard. That might hide a missing narrator. In our world, a preposition could break the chain. Two men living in the same century, not enough. We needed proof they met, long enough to narrate. If the timeline didn't overlap, chain broken, hadith dropped. From 600,000 reports, Bukhari kept around 2,600 unique ones, not because the rest were lies, but because his filter was surgical. A sound hadith had to meet 5 conditions: unbroken chain, upright narrators, strong memory, no hidden flaws, and no contradiction with stronger sources.
Fine, the chain. But what if the text is off?
We compared reports of the same event, spotted contradictions, additions, linguistic oddities. A perfect chain means nothing if the content smells wrong.
But your scholars were just men. They could make mistakes.
Exactly. That's why we documented even their errors. We preserved truth and its struggles. Judgments weren't made in secret. Narrators were tested in public. Verdicts recorded. Downgrades preserved. This was peer review, centuries before journals. If you lied or slipped, you weren't erased, you were exposed. You question ours while it is the most authentic documentation system in history. Fair. Now let's talk about yours. Who wrote your Gospels? Not Jesus, not eyewitnesses. Just names assigned centuries later. No chains, no scrutiny.
So you're saying every hadith is reliable?
No. We say, we know which are reliable and which aren't. You don't even know who wrote yours. This isn't religion versus religion. It's method versus myth, audit versus assumption. You fear that hadiths are fragile. We fear you've never questioned what's beneath your own feet. Even our weakest hadith has a chain, a critic, a context. Your strongest gospel verse? Anonymous, undated, unverified. Our system wasn't magic. It was built layer by layer, book by book, name by name. So what do you trust more? An anonymous claim or a report with faces, places, and cross-examination? You called it whispers, but we turned whispers into ledgers. So tell me, what have you preserved?